I'm here in Evergreen Cemetery in Richmond, Virginia. There's over 5,000 graves here. And as far as cemeteries go, I've never met one that I didn't like. There's something about their energy that draws me in, something that I connect with. I really love that no one is telling me what to do here. I find solace walking among the tombstones. It's peaceful. And I'm reading the names of those who are entombed below my feet and wondering what their life was like. And hoping that if a true zombie uprising were to ever happen, they'd know I'm a friend and not food. For something that will eventually catch up with all of us, like Jason Voorhees or karma, death is perhaps the most universally shared fear. And so often cemeteries are viewed as reminders of our inevitable doom, or with sadness for loved ones that we lose along the way. And I know I am no one, but I am also everyone, and I assure you, death is not the end. And from my understanding, there aren't many visitors here. I hadn't known of the history of this place before I visited. It's historically an African American cemetery. Many former slaves are buried here. Some very notable people, civil rights leaders, Maggie L. Walker and John Mitchell Jr., among many others. The stones are old. Most are dated in the late 1800s and early 20th century. Over time, the years of neglect have caught up with this privately owned cemetery. The original organization responsible for the cemetery, and they hadn't made proper plans for upkeep in their own wake. And in 1970, the subsequent association that was to care for the grounds went bankrupt. And now upkeep is left to the local community and families. At one point in time, if you looked into the Braxton Mausoleum, you could see a skull and human bones that were exposed inside. Now, I was there over a year ago, and there were signs that rehabilitation was in the works, but the ground was very uneven. It's almost as if these graves were dug up, maybe moved to a better place. I'm not sure. If you know, please let me know in the comments. Although it's mostly clean and clear from overgrowth during my visit in the cold February month, in the warmer months, from my understanding, this place becomes consumed with vegetation. It's sad to see this happen, but I can only assume that all things will fall to a similar fate over time. Last I read, in 2020, there was a $19 million plan to rehaul this and other cemeteries in Richmond, but that ended up being more talk and no action. So if you're ever in Richmond, swing on by to this quaint and beautiful historic cemetery while you still can. Its future is certainly uncertain. And while I did research, I'd love to hear from people who know more about Evergreen Cemetery, about its future and its past. If you find any value in this vid, please push your fingers on those like and subscribe buttons. And thanks for hanging out with me, and I hope to see you out there in the wilds.